Stan Gibilisco here, W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, from the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America. That was my 20-meter capacitively loaded antenna. And what you see here, obviously, it's a piece of plywood. It's a full-size 4 by 8 foot piece of plywood, forms a lean-to of sorts, so that I can put my generator underneath that. During the storm that we're about to have, we could have in excess of 3 feet of snow in the next 2 or 3 days. Stuff drips down through that deck and gets my generator wet, but not if it's under this thing, I hope. I did have a table that I cut down a little bit and tested, but that let water get onto the generator anyway. I don't know how water got there, but water has this incredible way of getting around in ways that you just can't even imagine or believe until you actually see it happen. I guess those of you who have been in a hurricane probably know that. There is a pretty good supply of firewood. That's three layers deep. You can't really tell that here, but that's enough for 3 or 4 weeks probably, or a couple of weeks anyway, to heat the house without even having to use the furnace at all. It's going to get into the teens and possibly even into the single digits during that storm and after that storm. Now this is only the 2nd of October, but we are at 5,000 feet. There's that lean-to. I can actually get under there, and hopefully all those drippings will just run down this piece of plywood. I didn't have time to clear seal it. Well, that's the story from the exterior of the Nerd Castle. Now a little bit of a Nerd Cave update. Nerd Cave meaning Radio Shack. There's some, speaking of Radio Shack, I got these online from the Radio Shack website. An audio preamplifier, a small audio amplifier. These are for the modulated light experiments, and there's the modulated light apparatus right there. There's the transmitter, or in effect the transmitting antenna. There's the receiving antenna. These preamplifiers that help the receiver feed a computer, and I can do some digital tests. There's the breadboard that goes with my book, Electricity Experiments You Can Do at Home. Well, you've seen all of this if you've watched these Nerd Cave videos before. Maybe you haven't seen that. Those are my bookmarks, my internet bookmarks, which I have put up on the internet on my own website so that I can access them wherever I go when I travel, which is almost never. We're listening to W1AW Code Practice, 15 words a minute right now. Then they'll start the bulletin pretty soon. There's my most recent acquisition that it's almost like, it's the best thing since Big Island Bakery sourdough rye bread, except it probably existed long before Big Island Bakery sourdough rye bread. That is a Vibroplex Vibro Deluxe. Just got that in the mail today. By UPS, actually. And I love that particular key or paddle. Those of you who have done CW, Morse code, who like to use Morse code, will certainly appreciate this. It's a single lever paddle, and I just prefer the single lever over the double lever type. Now you hear, that's a new amplifier, a 40 watt per channel stereo amplifier that I got that provides just a little bit better sound. This old thing under here, a tuner, an amplifier, it's kind of old, and the balance control was getting noisy in it, and it was just really a mess. It still has an FM tuner in it and a radio, so I can listen to the radio if I am so predisposed. I hardly ever do that anymore, actually, except the ham radio. There's the waveform. Now I just have that on there because it looks cool. Waveforms of W1AW's code. And for some reason that internet shut-off icon there stayed up there, that screen there. There's a spectral display, waterfall display of the same thing. The video production computer sits here as always, except I'm doing this video on an iPad, so don't need that. That wallpaper comes from Great Images in NASA. Go to the Great Images in NASA website, just Google on that and you'll find it. Windows 8, touch-sensitive screen. You know, I kind of like Windows 8. It kind of grows on you, or grows on me. I think it's all right. A lot of people don't like Windows 8 for some reason. Maybe because the start menu is not as accessible or something. I don't know. But anyway, that is my update from the Noid Cave. W1GV Whiskey 1 Golf Victor. They just started their bulletin. 18 words a minute. I just loved the sound of well-transmitted CW, and of course W1AW does it perfectly. And I do the best I can at about that same speed, 15, 18, maybe up to 20, 25 words a minute. Rarely ever more than 25 anymore. I used to be into really high-speed CW. I actually found out what some of those old guys looked like that I used to do high-speed CW with. Gene, W2KFA, Ray, W2YS, George down in New Zealand, ZL2AFZ, Bill Itel, I believe he was the owner of iMac Corporation, don't remember his call sign. Anyway, they were doing up around 50, 60, 70, and 80 words a minute, and Gene, W2KFA, reached 100 plus words a minute. That's hard to believe nowadays. I mean, I don't know. I was into that back then, but that was in college, and I was the quintessential nerd back then, just as I am now, except maybe a little different slant. Anyway, that's... I just really encourage you to relish this paddle. If you have one like this, you know exactly what I mean. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, signing off. 73 and so long.